Today, James is choosing between Soulmate, Population 436, and, yeah, I know, Dead Silence. Why haven't I seen it yet? Well, I haven't. That's why it's all in here. Alright, James, pick a movie. You have to pick a movie.
That one?
What, you don't like any of them?
Yes, that's why he was smiling like really.
Oh, that's the one you want? Or no? I don't know. Which one do you want? Stop looking at the television. Pick a movie.
Which one?
You're gonna lose Dead Silence in a second. It's gonna fall off the couch.
He's not touching the population one at all. James, we actually have to watch it, you know. So you gotta pick. This is the most indecisive you have been. Give one to Daddy. Which one?
Which one do you want to give to me? That one?
Really?
Alright, we're going with Population 436. Mommy's not happy with you again, James.
I was like, wait, I changed it.
And we are back with the direct-to-video Population 436. What'd you think, James? You liked it? Okay. Yes, Population 436, Version Française includes. From 2006, it runs about an hour and a half long. It's essentially the story of a census worker, federal census worker, who is sent to this small town of Rockwell Falls because their population has never changed in like 100 years. It's always been 436. I wonder where they got the name of the movie. So yeah, he's going to essentially do a proper census. I guess the Census Bureau kind of figures that, hey, these people aren't, recording the proper information, so we're going to send one of our government agents, and he's going to do a proper census of the town and get back to us. Well, he finds out. Well, he's a little. Well, we'll just say he's a little too curious, and he doesn't just do his census. And he finds out that this little town, what, buddy, of Rockwell Falls has a sinister secret. Ooh! You gonna grab your pumpkin? Here's your pumpkin. Yeah, here. Yeah. If you're wondering where Leslie is, she got tired and decided to get ready for bed, so she's not dressed for video right now. But she's here. She's just off camera, making sure James doesn't grab pumpkins. Leave it there, buddy. Leave it there. Leave it there. I know
James,
you want to
sit
play.
down, sit
Play
down.
with the stuffed pumpkin. That's why we got the stuffed pumpkin. All right. Well, James liked it. You already saw that he liked it. That's why. Well, maybe he liked it because he. Oh, James, do not touch the camera, please. So, about the film and who's involved in it. It's directed by Michelle MacLaren, who has directed a few episodes of television shows like X-Files and Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, The Walking Dead, Westward. No, that's not. Westworld. And Kyle XY, among a slew of other things. But it seems she makes most of her money as a producer, because she was a major producer on X-Files and Breaking Bad and Harsh Realm and slew of other things. So that's interesting to note. So she's making the bucks. So I don't know how she really got involved in this thing. It's written by a Michael Kingston. I know you haven't heard of him either, right? Yeah, that's because he's never done anything other than this. In terms of the cast, first is the Census Bureau guy, Steve Cady, played by Jeremy Sisto. You may know Jeremy Sisto from genre films like May or Wrong Turn, The Thirst, Hangman, and The Other Side of the Door, as well as, non-genre things like Clueless, White Squall, 13, or, I think we pretty much knew him mostly from 6 Feet Under, but he's also been kidnapped, Law and Order, FBI, where he had major runs on those things. He has a kind of, I guess you'd call her the love interest in the film, Courtney Lovett. Yeah. Played by Charlotte Sullivan, who has some genre credits to her name, including Shadow Builder and 388 Arletta Avenue, The Last Will and Testament of Rosalind Lee, The Colony, as well as the fact that she's a regular, or was a regular, I don't think the show's around anymore, Rookie Blue. Of course, every small little town has a town doctor, and that town doctor was played by David Fox, who has a huge body of work, including the voice of Captain Haddock in The Adventures of Tintin, or he did voice work in Cadillac and Dinosaurs in that 90s X-Men cartoon. He was in a couple of episodes of Littlest Hobo, Road to Avonlea, Jack Brooks' Monster Slayer, Mama. I mean, the guy's got credits out the wazoo. A lot of kind of no-name bit parts, some major parts, some not-so-major parts. But he's in everything. He's all over the place. Next up, and somebody that should be... Because he's advertised on the front cover. Deputy Sheriff Bobby Kane he befriends this Census Bureau. And that's played by Fred Durst. Yes, the Fred Durst of Limp Bizkit. Yeah, that guy. The only one, there are a bunch of other people who, have a lot of different roles, but one that I noticed right off the bat, who really didn't get featured as much as I thought until like the end of the movie, and that's the other deputy sheriff, Christian Hecker, who's played by Peter Outerbridge, who's known for Michael Hayes, Escape from Mars, Millennium, Men with Brooms, Land of the Dead, Lucky Number 11, Saw 6, Haunter, Nikita. But for me, I mostly knew him as David Sandstrom in the amazing but short-lived show Regenesis. Oh, it's okay, buddy. It's okay. David Sandstrom's a good guy in Regenesis. He plays like the dog. He plays like, if you've never seen Regenesis, I really think you should. He's kind of like the house character. He's a virologist essentially. They deal with viruses and such. And if going over those names and what they've been in hasn't given you a clue, a good portion of this film is shot in Manitoba. Yes, it's got some Canadian background to it. I don't know what you're looking for, buddy. That being said, Leslie, do you want to say anything from behind the camera?
It was stupid.
It was stupid. Yep, I knew that was coming.
And, that might give something away. Because from what I read on the back, I was thinking it's going to be kind of like supernatural a bit. That's what I thought. And then it's not.
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be like a ghost type movie.
Even from the beginning, right? I thought
this was supposed to be Ghost Night. It's not a ghost story at all.
No. So
It is a supernatural type film, but it's more of a religious context than it is a, ghosts type context. Oops. Oh well, we'll try for Ghost Night again some other night. I don't know.
I guess it gets a 1.
It gets a 1.
Yeah.
It's funny. The film itself is it's well told. It goes through the motions. There isn't really any major flaws with the film. There are a few flaws with some of the characters, but that's maybe on purpose. It's kind of hard to tell with this movie.
The casting was good.
The cast, yeah, the acting and everything was really well done. I just think it needed to be more ominous. It needed to be a little bit scarier. It needed to be darker. It's very Twilight Zone-y, almost, I would say.
Yeah, when it first came on, it kind of reminds me of like a mini series or something on TV.
Yeah, it definitely had that. Well, I mean, it's a direct-to-video shot in Canada film, so having that made-for-TV look isn't uncommon. But yeah, it lacked that edge. It really needed a little bit more edge to it. But outside of that, I thought it was okay. The acting, the look of the film. I thought their choice of like locations was really good. And I don't know if the locations were chosen because of the script or they molded some of the script around the locations that they were able to get. It's hard to tell sometimes. But the way they edited the film, they made it seem like it was all in one area, right? Except for one thing. They do an aerial shot of this town, and the town is essentially like buildings in a forest. Yet when you get to the street level, there's farms. And, we know a farm, it's going to be wide acreages of, farmland that they're cultivating. Not so much from the sky. What are you going to do? One of the things they do in this film that they don't really explain so much is at the beginning of the film, they stop the clock.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? And then at the end of the film, they say, "Don't forget, you can start your to start your clocks back up." Now it isn't really explained. It's touched on a couple of times, but it's really important. And from what I can gather, it's kind of, because I was looking for an explanation in the film, and it wasn't really given. But I do know that there is a tradition when somebody dies of stopping your clock. It's a very old tradition, but I do know there was a tradition. I just don't know if that's what they were relating it to in the film or not. It kind of seems like it, but at the same time, I don't know, because they stopped it when there was a death and a birth, and I don't know. It was kind of convoluted. Yeah, but outside of that, I don't know that I'd necessarily recommend Population 436. It is one of those, if you're looking for like a lazy Sunday afternoon type, throw it on television while you're folding laundry type thing, it's definitely something you could do there, and it would work. I think I might rate it as... See, this is hard. The rating for this I find difficult because there's nothing really wrong with the film. It's just kind of a little boring and not as interesting as it could be. So how much do you take off for that? I don't know. I don't know. It's...
What are you... What?
I'll say, you know what? I'm
going to change my thing to 2.
You're going to 2? You've upped it? I've convinced you with my great review. I think I'm leaning towards 2.5. I know it seems a little harsh, but enjoyment is a good portion of watching a film, and the enjoyment factor, it's not very high on this. It's yeah, like I said, it's not edgy enough. It's just kind of there, and it's there, well done, but just because something is well done doesn't necessarily make it interesting. So having Fred Durst in your film does not necessarily sell it for you, I think. Though I have to admit, he didn't do a bad job, considering he's a, Limp Bizkit. Who would have thought? Oh well. And yes, I know he's gone into, I think, production a lot more than things, and obviously music and such, but in terms of acting, he hasn't done much other than this, so what do you know? Anyways, if you've seen Population 436, comment down below. Let us know what you thought of it. Keep it spoiler-free as much as possible. But yeah, more 31 Days of Horror to come. So stay tuned, and maybe next time I won't be alone in front of the camera again. Hopefully.